Hello, welcome back to our countdown to Christmas. Today is the 13th of December and we've got another video for you, of course. Now, we previously did a video with the Canoptic Spiders going up against the Flayed one, so if you've missed that one, find that in the playlist down below. I might put it up in the top right of your screen now. Now, as for today's video, we've got the Necron Immortals going up against the Necron Warriors. We're going to talk about all the advantages, disadvantages, and if I had to select one of them, I'm going to let you know which one I would pick at the end of this video. Also guys, don't forget we do have a giveaway for this Combat Patrol box set. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below which of these units you would select. You don't need to say why, just select one and that's enough to enter the giveaway. Right, so let's get on to today's video, comparing the points to begin with. So the Immortals are 16 points, or if you're taking 5 of them, which is a minimum unit, it's going to cost you 80 points. Whereas the Necron Warriors are 13 points each, but you need to take a minimum of 10 of them, so that's going to total 130 points. Now both of them are troop options, of course, they've both got the core keyword, and they're both objective secured infantry models. So now that we've got the keywords and all that kind of stuff out the way, let's get onto the datasheet. Well, there's 3 datasheet differences here with the Immortals and the Necron Warriors. Well, the Immortals in fact win in all 3 of the cases, but we'll go through them anyway. First of all, the toughness is 5, not toughness 4. Second of all, they've got 2 attacks as opposed to the Warriors 1. And thirdly, they've got a 3+ armor save as opposed to a 4+ that the Warriors have. So a very easy point to the Necron Immortals. As for abilities, there's only one in fact to talk about, and it's for the Necron Warriors, and it's their numbers is Legion, which allows them to reroll 1s to reanimate with their reanimation protocols. That's the only ability out of 2 units, so an easy point back to the Warriors. Next, we're going to talk about the synergy. First, I want to mention the common synergy. Things that they've both got in common, because they are quite similar units, both troop selections of course, both infantry units. So first of all, obviously My Will Be Done is going to help both of these units for a +1 to their hit rolls, particularly useful at range of course. Second of all, things such as the Lord's Will from the Necron Lords to re-roll those ones. Thirdly, we've got Royal Wardens to get them out of combat. And another mention here for the Triarch Stalker to be able to again re-roll hit rolls of a 1. Now there's lots of other synergies that are going to link to both of these units, but for this video I want to talk about the unique synergy. First of all, we've got the Ghost Arc. Now out of the 2 units, only the Necron Warriors have access to the Ghost Arc. Now you can only unfortunately put 10 of them in the Ghost Arc, but the Ghost Arc also has an ability called the Repair Barge, which will heal D3 Lost Warriors in your own turn. So that's the first bit of unique synergy. The second one is the Technomancer with the Rites of Reanimation ability. Now you can use the Rites of Reanimation ability on your Immortals, but you're only going to be bringing 1 single model back in a given turn. Whereas with the Necron Warriors, you can be bringing back D3. Then I've got a few more options here, which you can use on the Necron Immortals, but they're just going to be better served on a Necron Warrior unit, because you can get a unit of 20 of them, as opposed to the Necron Immortals, which you can only get 10 of them. So the first one is the Resurrection Orb, or the Orb of Eternity if you upgraded that. That could be your Overlord, it could be your Lord, your Locust Lord. Even your Catacomb Command Barge can take one of these Resurrection Orbs, and you're going to be able to reanimate models in your command phase. Now this is going to work much better on a 20-man Warrior Blob as mentioned, not so much on a 5 to 10 man Immortal unit. Another one is the Canoptic Reanimator for a +1 to the reanimation rolls, so having a +1 and then re-rolling 1 is going to be pretty useful. And I also wanted to mention the Chronomancer, not so much for the re-rollable charge, but for that 5+ invulnerable save on a 20-man unit. That's going to be really good. Now some further synergy for the Necron Warriors is the new Army of Renown for the Cult of the Cryptek. They're able to be selected for the Cult of the Cryptek because you can take Warriors. Now I personally don't like the fact that you can take Warriors, because I think it's a tax for the Cult of the Cryptek. I'd rather just take an outright attachment, because all the fast attack options are pretty good with the Canoptic Wraiths and the Scarabs. So just by bringing 10 Necron Warriors is a little bit of a tax for 130 points, but if that's what you wanted to do and you didn't want to spend any command points pre-game, you could take a patrol detachment or brigade detachment, battalion detachment, and get some Necron Warriors in that list. Now, there's only one piece of synergy really I've got for the Immortals here, which is the Malevolent Arcing Stratagem if they're taking the Tesla weapons. Now we're going to go over the weapons in a moment, but if you are taking the Tesla carbines, of course you can throw out some mortal wounds for 1 command point with the Tesla carbines. So that one's another easy win to the Necron Warriors. Right, so we did say we're going to go on to the weapons next. So first of all, with the Necron Immortals, they've got 2 weapon options. First of all, the Gauss Blasters, 30-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 5, -2 AP, 1 damage. Fair enough. And the Tesla carbines, as we just mentioned with the Malevolent Arcing Stratagem, 24-inch range, so slightly less. Assault 2, so you're guaranteed to 2 shots. Strength 5, no AP, 1 damage. And if you hit with a 6, it explodes into 2 additional hits. That's what the Immortals have. As for the Warriors, the Gauss Flayers, of course, 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 4, -1 AP, 1 damage. A lot of people would suggest that this is the weaker of the two weapons that you can take for the warriors. The second one is the Ghost Reaper. 12-inch range only, but it's assault 2. Again, you're guaranteed your 2 shots there. Strength 5 minus 2 AP and 1 damage. So very similar stats to the Ghost Blaster that the Immortals have, except it's only at 12-inch range. So this one I've got to give that point back to the Immortals. Even though you're only taking a unit of 10 of them as a maximum, the weapon profile is still better. Right, as for general purpose, starting with the Immortals, generally they're a hold the fort type of unit. Minimum unit of 5 of them is cheap enough at only 80 points. So they're going to be holding your home objective, maybe separate them slightly just to screen off from some deep strike options that are coming into your back lines. Now you can max out a unit of up to 10 of them, but I think if you are doing that at that stage, you may as well just go for 20 Necron Warriors as opposed to having 10 Necron Immortals. That's if you want the resiliency. Now as for the Necron Warriors, they're either going in the Ghost Arc, so a unit of 10 of them flying up the board, objective secure, popping out in your opponent's back lines, or you're just going to use the Veil of Darkness relic with a 20-man unit with the Ghost Reapers. They're going to literally just fry anything in front of them. So yeah, the Necron Warriors are much more aggressive, whereas the Immortals, not so aggressive. They're going to be staying in your back lines, potentially moving up to the no man's land of the board, but I don't think they're going to go much further than that. So let's get on to the summary today of the video. We're going to talk about the advantages, starting off with the Necron Immortals. So they're the cheapest unit at 80 points, that's for a minimum unit. They are toughness 5 as opposed to toughness 4. They've got a 3+ armor save, not a 4+. They've got both weapons which are strength 5. They've got the option of Tesla, which then relates to the Malevolent Arcane stratagem. And they've got 2 attacks if they were to fight in combat. Not where they want to be, but if you were in combat, then yeah, you've got 2 attacks there. As for the disadvantages for the Immortals, a single model is 3 points more, which means if you did want a maximum unit of 10 of them, it's going to cost you a lot more than Necron Warrior unit is going to cost. Now the maximum size is only 10 as opposed to 20 with the Warriors. They can't of course use the Ghost Arc. They've got less synergy for the reanimation protocols, so no Ghost Arc with the Repair Barge, and the Technomancer only brings 1 back and not D3, and they're just less likely to sync with other units within your codex, whereas the Necron Warriors you're likely going to be bringing an Overlord, maybe a Resurrection Orb, maybe a Canoptic Reanimator, maybe a Chronomancer, a Technomancer. You've got lots of different units that you'd bring with the Necron Warriors, whereas the Immortals, you kind of just leave them on their own, let them do their own thing. They're just holding you some points for the back lines. That's the Immortals. As for the Warriors, well, you can get a maximum unit size of 20 of course. They're cheaper per model with only 13 points a pop. They can go in Ghost Arcs as we mentioned. They're re-rolling ones with their reanimation protocols, so they're going to be standing up much easier, and that's going to be really beneficial if you've got a 20-man warrior blob, which is in fact our next point. When you've got 20 of them, they're just much more survivable. Then next we've got better synergy with other units. We've already mentioned all those units. The Ghost Arc I think we missed out, but lots of different synergy within the codex. And finally we've got the option of the Cult of the Cryptek, Army of Renown. Disadvantages, well, a minimum unit is costing you 130 points, whereas a minimum unit of Immortals is only 80, so there is a little bit of a tax there if you just wanted a minimum size unit. Synergizing with other units does get expensive, like paying for a Ghost Arc for another 130 points, or a Resurrection Orb or a Reanimator. All these things start to add up just to keep your warriors going throughout the game. Next, we've only got 10 warriors can fit into the Ghost Arc. It'd be really cool if you can get 20 of them in there, or just at least give it open topped or something, because once they're in there they're not shooting, and once they get out there's only 10 of them. And finally they've only got Ghost Weapon options. Now the Ghost Weapons aren't too bad, don't get me wrong, but there's no Tesla option if you wanted to go down the Tesla route. Okay, so we're on to the part of the video where I've got to make a decision out of these 2 units. I think this one has been the hardest one yet. I have swung all different ways with this throughout the past year. I mean, at the start of the edition I was very into my warriors and all the synergy with the Overlords and the Royal Wardens, but as time went on I think I was steering towards the Immortal, just cheaping out the unit, cheaping out the actual troop selections, because I think it's a tax for our codex, whereas that way I can put more points into the elite selections, into the heavy support selections, and of course the fast attack, which I really like. So for that reason alone, I'm going to be choosing the Necron Immortals today. I only want to be spending 80 points as a minimum if I'm taking a patrol detachment. I don't want to be spending 130, and that's only for 10. That means it'll be 260 points to take the actual 20-man unit. Right guys, let me know down in the comments below which one you're going to be selecting. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you are new. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.